There is so much to talk about with this year's TwitchCon 2025 that we actually have to make a few different videos about it because there's a bunch of things we need to talk about. We have to talk about the things that they have announced. We have to talk about the convention itself and what its future is. We have to talk about Dan Clancy. And then there's a whole bunch of other tertiary things that we also have to cover as it relates to the entire weekend that was TwitchCon and the future of this platform. So let's start things up with Dan Clancy being announced, coming out looking like he just woke up and doesn't really know where he is.
Welcome to TwitchCon. So Twitch started with a bunch of dedicated gamers streaming the games they loved, but it has grown into something much bigger. Kai Cenat, Selena Gomez, Ed Sheeran, Snoop Dogg, Kim Kardashian, Zerator's latest Z event broke the record. Flatboy Max are evolving the way music artists like Quavo and Lil Yachty. Squeezy is turning Formula Racing into a creator-driven sport. Kings League is changing the game of soccer. Ibai's Lavalada Del Año broke yet another Twitch record. Now Twitch is also attracting musicians, athletes, entertainers, and other celebrities. Stud Buds, WNBA with Shiloh and Shador Sanders, Fred Again's new album, Ice Spice, Paris Fashion Week, the Olympic gold medalist Sunisa Lee, and Spanish artist BB Trick. And Drewski did a live reunion.
Okay, so I've cut that down. Hopefully I've cut that down into being something that is showing you what they're talking about here. Big events, sports events, IRL events, celebrities. None of this is about who founded and created the overall platform of Twitch and what the vast majority of content on this platform actually is. And I think that's super, super important to recognize because this platform is not necessarily thinking of this community the way that it once did. They are thinking bigger. They are thinking cultural, and they're trying to figure out ways in order to support that cultural growth on the platform. They are not thinking about the individual. They're not thinking about the person who's been here for 10 years. They're not thinking about the person who is just starting up and wants to play Battlefield 6 on stream. They're not thinking about the Xbox streamer. They are thinking big picture cultural growth. They are not thinking about what is already established here. And I think that's super, super important for people to understand about today's Twitch and where the direction of this platform is going to continue to head. You've probably seen conversations online about how Twitch needs to go back to being a gaming platform. Unfortunately, I think they're leaving that in the dust. I don't think that's going to be something that is a viable strategy for how they're thinking about this actual platform. Let's continue.
For Twitch to remain the home for community-centric live streaming, we need to continue to develop the platform to meet the evolving needs of our creators. Not just today's stars, but the streamers who are still early in their journeys. So in Rotterdam, I gave you a first look at the work we are doing to support dual format streaming and vertical video on mobile. Dual format streaming lets streamers go live in both vertical and horizontal formats at the same time. So this means no matter where your viewers are tuning in from, they'll have an optimal viewing experience. I'm excited to share that we're ready to move dual format streaming into beta testing.
This is, again, one of those things that is good in theory, but it doesn't, it really does dramatically change who this platform is for. Because while it is true that you can watch gaming in a vertical feed, there's no games other than mobile games that are designed for a vertical feed. While, yes, this will benefit people who do create horizontal content to make it easier to consume on a mobile device, I don't think it's for those people. I think this is designed, again, for people to casually go live on their phones, casually be, so basically not having a desktop setup, okay? And you're going to see that Twitch is leaning more to the cultural side of IRL streaming. Again, something that we're going to talk about in a future video, but you've seen a lot of people complaining about IRL. Welcome to Twitch's future.
We want to take our time to get this right. We'll be adding streamers to the beta gradually while we collect feedback and iterate.
So again, This was their opening statement. This is the big starting point to which they build from. We're continuing to invest in the mobile experience. Oof. Okay. So we've set the tone here. Let's see where it goes.
One thing I love is streaming IRL from Twitchcon. I know many of you do too. It's a great way to bring your community along for the weekend. So I'm excited that soon you will be able to IRL stream from your glasses.
And the crowd goes the mildest I've ever heard. There was almost a boo in there. Let me listen to that again.
From your glasses.
Yeah, not a lot of excitement there. Again, for anybody, this was before the actual convention has gotten into the full swing of things. And you've seen it on Twitter now, if you've paid any attention to social media. Lots of people complaining about IRL streamers, not there to bring their communities along, but there to be a nuisance, there to be a bother, there to create content and turn people's experiences into content, whether they wanted it to be content or not, whether they're just going about their lives and enjoying the actual convention show floor, they were turned into content by people doing IRL content. Even IRL streamers have said, well, things have really changed a lot. These glasses are only going to exacerbate that problem, but it does show you where Twitch's priorities lie. They do not lie with the creator on this platform that is making their bread and butter. It is not the people who are earning sub revenue. It is the future of cultural impact that they are leaning on. Okay? Point blank. You're going to hear it over and over and over again. You're going to see more and more examples of that throughout Twitch in the future. This is where they are leaning.
We are working with Meta and their new wearable device access toolkit to enable streamers to go live hands-free directly from their AI glasses. Now, every day, moments happen on streams that you don't want to miss. Mm-hmm. But as a viewer, you can't always be there. Mm-hmm. Over the last few years, we've invested in making those moments easier to capture and share with clips.
Okay.
Going forward, clips will be a big part of our strategy to help viewers easily catch up on the best moments from their previous streams. So as part of this, we're evolving the stories experience so it's focused on clips and catching up on key moments.
Now, I don't know if anybody knows what stories are on Twitch, because from my understanding, the overall usefulness of them is practically zero, the amount of people that are using it. Most people use stories to say, hey, I'm going live. That's it. If you take a look at your stories feed on desktop or on the mobile app, most of the posts will be, hey, I'm live. And that's not the experience that Twitch wants. They're going to try to force the experience. It's probably not going to work, but they're going to try to force the experience of stories to be about clips, about a recap, about catching up on what you may have missed in the previous stream. I don't think this is going to be successful. I think this is going to be another failed investment into the stories product that will probably not change anybody's utility of that actual feature.
So this idea of catching up hinges on streamers making and sharing clips immediately after every stream.
Again, this is a behavior that people don't do, and I don't think that most will, even with the tooling that they're about to announce here.
But right now, only 1 in 4 streamers do this. Larger streamers will often have editors who help them find, make, and share those clips. But doing this yourself is time-consuming, and if you're like me, it's not something you want to do right after you finish a stream. That's why I'm excited to tell you about a new feature we're building called Auto Clips. Auto Clips will help you automatically create clips based on the best parts of your stream using AI and a variety of signals from the broadcast and chat. You can also hand-pick these moments yourself while you're streaming, just by saying something like, clip that.
I'm sorry. It is so remarkable how many misses on the pause for applause happen throughout this overall thing. Nothing. No one clapping. No one excited. Remarkable.
So that way it'll be easier for you to figure out what those great moments are even while you are streaming. So initially, auto clips will create standard clips like you're already familiar with. But soon, it will help create clips that splice together portions of your stream to eliminate dead space or combine great moments. And auto clips will also automatically include captions to improve the viewing experience and eventually will allow streamers to use this on all clips.
Okay, there is the part that actually people want, is the ability for it to auto-generate captions. This is a thing that people have been asking for with clips for years, is, hey, why don't we have the ability to, currently if you export a clip to TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, you can change the title and the description and kind of the framing of the actual clip, but that's about it. There's no like cut tool, there's no ability to add captions, there's no ability to turn it into something more. It is incredibly limited overall. So he's forward projecting something that probably isn't going to come out until, beta testing in 2026, but that the long-term distance of that actual announcement is probably 2027. That's going to be my guess here. There was some excitement for that, by the way. There was some excitement for that. So it's not like this is a dead crowd. There is excitement when legitimate exciting things are announced.
When you're done streaming, it'll be fast and easy to review these clips along with any clips made by your community. You can approve or reject them, then share your best moments with your followers on your stories feed. And of course, these clips aren't just for helping your existing viewers catch up. Our goal is that Auto Clips helps you create high-quality clips that you'd want to share on your socials to help grow your audience. So as Auto Clips creates more clips, it'll get better at identifying the best moments from your stream.
Okay, so again, they are not introducing discovery with this function on the platform. They are not creating a TikTok-like feed. They are creating a way to create demand for the stories function. And they're hoping that if they create those clips and they're easy to make and they're actual good clips, that you then take the initiative to then go post them on other platforms, okay? So for anybody who's going, well, why don't they have clips-based discovery on Twitch? It's not what they're focusing on. It's not what they're doing. They recognize they don't have the ability, they don't have the demand, they don't have the capability to actually create something of value like that. So they're showing it to your existing followers through the stories function and encouraging you to post it to Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, where they'll end up being seen more.
All right, next, I want to talk about an update we're making to co-streaming.
I've already made an entire video about the co-streaming function. They announced it a day before TwitchCon. I like the idea of this feature. I've been saying they need something like this since they shut down the host functionality. It's what the host functionality should have probably been in originally. Very concerned that this feature is going to be extremely gatekept to the very top creators. And even this announcement of it, because again, it was announced a day before in a blog post, this announcement left me going, oh no. And I'll tell you why right after we listen to it.
Later this year, we're launching a co-streaming feature to help events on Twitch by showing off the combined view counts of everyone co-streaming that event. Streamers will be able to mark their streams as co-streamable, which encourages other streamers to co-stream and take part in the event. The event host will have the option to authorize anyone to co-stream or a list of specific channels. Co-stream events will display the combined view count for the host channels, similar to how we do it with Stream Together, so viewers can see total viewership for the event. This update to co-streaming will help highlight the true reach that these events have across Twitch. All right.
No excitement from the crowd at all. And the reason why I was disappointed with this announcement is because my hope was going to be that they would actually say, here's what we're doing with the co-streaming feature to enable you to create content. Again, my bias for this platform is always that it should be thinking about its content creators, obviously the viewers, but for the content creators who are creating the content on the platform. Had they said, we will be coming out with an entire list for the next year of already approved in the system events that you are going to be able to co-stream. And we're going to make it easy for you to see what's coming up, which ones that might be interest of you. We'll highlight them because of the fact that, hey, you've streamed Mario Kart. Are you interested in being a co-streamer for this game and this event and this Nintendo Direct and this one and the Game Awards and the Streamer Awards? And it would have been such a fantastic way to actually generate that excitement from the streamers who are in this crowd to say, we're making it easy to find content for you to stream as part of this co-streaming function. They didn't do that. I don't know why this company doesn't think about its creators when it does any of these announcements.
In June, we gave streamers the ability to run their own promotions. Since then, you've been using this feature to hype up your subathons, anniversaries, or just random events.
Sure. Okay. Fantastic. But this has already been launched, okay? They do get to one point here that I do think is valuable, okay? But in terms of like making an announcement, this isn't really an announcement if you've already launched the product. So here is what they're actually going to be doing next. Again, I do think it is a good idea, and it will be interesting to see essentially they're launching paid moments badges is what we're coming down to here. But allow me to actually play out what it exactly said.
And we're also experimenting with you create badge drops in your channel so you can celebrate special streams with an exclusive badge.
See? Now you heard from the crowd there. They're excited by that. And I agree. Having basically a paid moment a badge is kind of a good thing. It is a decent idea, but only to the extent that people value the badge collection themselves. And this is where Twitch is going to run into a problem that I hope that they are thinking about and already have a plan in place. And if they don't, I'm going to give them an idea right now. But one of the things that I think is important to know about the overall badge system is you're incredibly limited on what you can actually choose. So for example, I'm a Twitch partner. I can choose to use my partner badge, or I can use my Prime Gaming badge, or I can use my Twitchcon 2019 badge, or I can use my GlitchCon 2020 badge, or I can use my Destiny 2 The Final Shape Raid Race badge, okay? I can't use both. So I'm exceptionally limited on what I can actually use in my own stream. And that's true of the entire platform. So if you have collected 40 badges, 50 badges, 100 badges, you can still only display one of them. And so for Twitch, they have to change the system from the current situation, which only allows you to technically show two: broadcaster, moderator, VIP, your subscriber badge in the stream, and then one custom badge that defines who you are, you know, whichever one. Is it partner, is it Arcane Season 2 premiere, whichever one that you identify most with. They need to change it so that creators can use, that anybody can use 3 different badges so that you can show off, hey, I'm going to TwitchCon and I'm a Twitch partner and I'm a subscriber to this channel, or I'm a Twitch ambassador and I have Prime Gaming and I have Twitch Turbo, or I'm a streamer and I have a Prime and I participate in September, and basically allowing people to actually create some level of customization to show people the actual value of their badge collection. If they don't do that, we are rapidly depleting the overall value in badges. And one of the things that is absolutely true is Twitch has made dozens of badges that are paid for over the last few months. Dozens. So for example, paid badge, 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 free badge, paid badge, paid badge, paid badge, paid badge, paid badge, paid badge, free badge, free badge, free badge, free badge, free badge, paid badge, uncollectible, free badge, paid badge, paid badge, paid badge, paid badge. There's just so many paid badges. paid badge, that one is free, I think. That one is free. There's just a lot of paid badges that they have launched. So they need to figure out a way to create value for the people who are paying for these badges by allowing customization of the location and increase the number of badges that you can show from 1 plus a channel specific to 3 fully customizable. That's the play. That's the play.
Now, sponsorships can be another great way for streamers to earn more revenue on Twitch.
Absolutely.
But getting a sponsorship can be tricky, especially if you've never done it before.
Keep in mind, they've already announced this feature. They already announced the sponsorship dashboard. It is available for all of us, and it has been in testing since 2023. They started doing channel skins and overlays in 2023. We are 2 years past that point. And it's still, the vast majority of people have seen nothing in their overall sponsorship dashboard. Other than Stream Elements, but those don't actually count because it's just feeding in from Stream Elements site. They're not actually Twitch run promotions.
The last year, we launched a number of on-site updates to help streamers get sponsorships from directly within the creator dashboard. The sponsorships tab now includes your creator profile, which is like a snapshot of
Again, they've already announced this.
you, your content, and your community.
Yes.
Filling this helps brands find your channel and work with you.
Yes.
We're also seeing that advertisers are more eager than ever to work with Twitch streamers. This year, we will help 10 times more creators secure brand deals than we did in 2024.
Okay. I want to point that number out. 10 times as many. That sounds great, doesn't it? That sounds amazing. In 2024, this product was in very, very limited testing. Twitch ambassadors had access to it and a couple others. Okay? If we're generous, we can say 500 creators got access to a Twitch-led sponsorship channel skin-based advertising deal in 2024, which means this year we're talking, if it's 10 times, 5,000, which there are 60,000, 50,000, 58,000 active partners every single year. So we're not even touching, we're still only supporting 10% of the overall community with the sponsorship, a partnered community with the sponsorship product. Never mind affiliates, the millions of affiliates, we're not even getting to a double digit for partners. Okay? And again, if you go back to my video, I made a video about the viewership thing that they did recently and why they were addressing it 2 months ago. They're addressing the view botting problem on the platform to create more legitimate surface numbers because of the sponsorship product. Advertisers, to my understanding, are a little bit iffy on Twitch. Contrary to what he's saying here, they're a little bit iffy in trusting the overall numbers. They want to see the real numbers. They understand that there's a level of view botting. There's a level of view botting across the entire platform, whether it's intentional or not. But view bots sit in everybody's stream to hide themselves in plain sight. And so this overall product needs to have more legitimacy in order to get to that 10x number that he is saying here. So there's a lot of dominoes that need to be tipped, but we're not going to get there very, very quickly here. And then lastly, the thing that they announced here, again, is kind of using it like a farm club system where they're trying to get people who are on the younger side to be content creators on the platform. And so they're launching Twitch University. They've already announced the launch of this. And essentially, it's to try to get more Twitch presence on campuses, university and college campuses by having campus meetups and other events with other students at those schools. And then secondly, they announced new creator clubs. They already have a bunch of them, but now they're adding tabletop, retro gaming, and a charity club. That was Twitch's updates. The big updates on the biggest stage of the 10-year anniversary. It really came off as mid. It wasn't very exciting. There wasn't a lot of thing that projects things for current creators. It really is about future culture and trying to actually get more creators from these other places to be more consistent creators on the platform. There is very, very little for current active creators on Twitch. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I was surprised at how muted this entire thing was. Again, I was surprised last year because last year's was also relatively muted. But this year especially, it was kind of like, hey, this is your 10-year. This is like do or die times. The community sentiment has fallen off. Dan Clancy's overall likability within the platform is falling off of a cliff. Twitchcon did him no favors because he does himself no favors. I have a couple other videos that I'm going to have to record after this, talking about the convention itself and how it needs to change, and talking about Dan Clancy and how we may need change from him. All right, guys, with that one, make sure to click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the hype button, click the comment button. Basically do all the things that result in engagement and feed the algorithm the juice that it needs in order to continue and say, hey, this guy's got something that he's saying and we want other people to see it. And if you haven't signed up for my newsletter, 2s.gg, it's where you can get a weekly recap of everything happening in the content creator space. New people all the time join it and they go, wow, this is actually really, really valuable. And I want you to be the next person to do that. Go sign up, 2s.gg, and you'll get that every single Monday. With that, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.